Hello everyone, my name is Hanifadi Nugraha and today I want to make a movie review drama film titled Door to Door, which was released in the year 2002. This film is directed by Steven Spector and co-written by the leading actor William H. Macy. This television film chronicles the extraordinary life and legacy of a real-life individuals named Bill Porter. To understand the essence of this film, we must first dive into its rich setting. The story is primarily set in the Portland, Oregon, a beautiful and shifting metropolitan area in the Pacific Northwest region of the United States. In terms of the timeline, the movie is a historical span that covers approximately 40 extensive years of Bill Porter's life. The narrative begins in the mid 1955 era, a time when society held vastly different and unfortunately highly restrictive views regarding individuals living with severe physical or developmental disabilities. Over its 90-minute runtime, the movie seamlessly transitions forwards through the decades, capturing the changing landscape of the 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, and ultimately bringing us into the late 1990s. This specific period is crucial because it highlights the culture, industrial, and technological evolution of modern America, contrasting the traditional era of personalized neighborhood door-to-door salesmanship with the rapid automated rise of telemarketing, digital catalogs, and the internet. The setting isn't just a background, it is a dynamic character that actively influences how Bill is perceived by his community and how he fights to find his place in a changing world. And now, let us turn our attention to the individuals who drive this proven narrative forward. The primary protagonist is, without a doubt, Bill Porter, magnificently portrayed by William H. Macy in an Emmy-winning performance. Bill is a man born with cerebral palsy, a neurological condition that severely impairs his physical motor skills, causes a noticeable limp, bends his arms against his body, and impacts his verbal speech clarity. Despite these heavy physical limitations, Bill's personality is defined by an unbreakable spirit, a brilliant sense of humor, immense dignity, and a profound work ethic. He possesses an inner strength that refuses to accept defeat or self-pity. When the world tells him he is unplayable, Bill responds with a quiet but fierce determination to stand on his own 2 feet. And then the second foundational character is Bill's mother, Irene Porter, played elegantly by the legendary Helen Mirren. Irene is the bedrock of Bill's life. Her personality is a masterclass in unconditional love, practical wisdom, and fierce supportiveness. She is neither overly coding nor soft. Instead, she instills in Bill the core values of patience and persistence, preparing him to face an unforgiving world with his head held high. Her tragic arc later in the film, as she succumbs to Alzheimer's disease, highlight her profound influence on making Bill the independent man he became. Another pivotal character is Sally Brady, portrayed with great warmth by Kira Sedgwick. Sally enters Bill's life as a young, energetic, and empathic college student hired to assist Bill with his delivers and household needs. Over the decades, Sally evolved from a hired helper into Bill's most trusted friend, confident and emotional anchor. Her personality is fiercely loyal, understanding, and patient, though she is also strong enough to challenge Bill whenever his pride prevents him from accepting help. Lastly, we encounter a wide cast of customers along Bill's sales route. Notable among them is Gladys, played by Katie Baker. Gladys is a profoundly lonely, isolated widow who initially purchases products from Bill purely out of pity. However, her characters unfold to show someone who deeply craves genuine human connection, finding a true friend and emotional lifeline in Bill. And next, I want to tell you the character I like the most, and I will tell you the reason why I like this character. Among all the richly drawn characters in this masterpiece, the individual I admire and like the most is the protagonist himself, Bill Porter. It is incredibly easy to fall in love with this character, not because we feel sorry for him, but because his sheer character strength is deeply infectious and conflicting to watch. What truly sets Bill apart is his complete refusal to weaponize or capitalize on his disability for sympathy. He doesn't want anyone charity. He wants an equal opportunity to earn his living. I am profoundly moved by his ability to maintain a sharp self-deprecating wit and genuine cheerfulness in the face of constant public rejection. When potential customers slam doors in his face or speak him with visible discomfort, Bill doesn't get angry or retreat into isolation into isolation. Instead, he recomposes himself, adjusts his posture, and walks to the next house. His approach to life teaches us that our external circumstance or physical limitation do not define our world. Rather, our response to those challenges does. Furthermore, the way Bill evolves from a struggling salesman into the invisible threat that knits his fragmented neighborhood together is beautiful. He remembers his customer's birthday asks about their family, and provides comfort during their darkest time. Bill Porter represents the absolute pinnacle of human resilience, making him an unforgettable character who leaves a permanent mark on the viewer's heart. Okay, and next, I will tell you the character I like the least and why. When analyzing the character I like the least, it is important to clarify that Door to Door does not feature a traditional cartoonist villain. Instead, the antagonism comes from societal ignorance and the structural coldness of corporate entities. However, if I must select a specific character whose actions and mindset resonate with me the least, it would be the first Watkins Company sales manager who interviews Bill at the beginning of the movie. This manager embodies the narrow-minded, superficial prejudice of that era. When Billy walks into his office seeking employment, the manager looks at Bill's physical disability, hears his slightly slurred speech, and immediately dismisses him as completely incompetent and entirely unemployable. He doesn't bother to look past the physical surface, ask about Bill's intellect, or evaluates his immense drive. He treats Bill as an administrative burden and a PR risk rather than a human being with potential. Even when Bill begs for the thought's most undesirable sales route that no other salesman wants, a route where the company has absolutely nothing to lose. The manager only agrees out sheer exhaustion and desire to get Bill out of his office, fully expecting and hoping that Bill will fail miserably. Within a few days, I dislike this character because he represents the structural barriers and casual discrimination that millions of capable individuals with disabilities face every single day. He reminds us how painful it is when society judges an individual worth based purely on outward appearance. And now, I will describe the plot of the movie. At the beginning of the movie, we are introduced to young adult Bill Porter, who living in Portland in 1955. Bill faces a bleak reality where multiple employers reject him due to his cerebral palsy. Guided and fiercely encouraged by his devoted mother Irene, Bill refuses to give up. He walks into the Watkins Company office and, after facing initial rejection, confides the reluctant manager to give him a chance by taking over the company worst, lowest performing sales route. His early days on the job agonizingly difficult. He walked miles a day and severe physical pain, facing slammed door, rude comments, and deep skepticism from neighbors who are deeply uncomfortable with his physical condition. The turning point of this opening act occurs when Bill is on the verge of quitting. His mother begs him allowance and uses ketchup to write two words on his sandwich. The first is patience on one health and persistence on the other. This simple, proven message the revitalizes Bill's spirits. He refines his presentations, learns to utilize humor to break the tensions, and secures his very first sale from Gladys, a lonely widow. This small victory marks the beginning of his decades-long journey. In the middle of the movie, the story shifts into a beautiful exploration of consistency, friendship, and personal tragedy. Over the years, Bill's relentless work ethic pays off, and he completely transformed his difficult territory into a highly profitable gold mine, eventually rising to become the top door-to-door salesman in the entire region. He ceases to be a stranger, he becomes an indispensable part of his customer's life, acting as a bridge between a feuding neighbors and comforting friend to the lonely. However, several hardships emerges. Bill's beloved mother begins to show signs of dementia and is eventually diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. In a painful reversal of roles, Bill must now become the caregiver for the woman who built him up. A task stretches his physical capabilities to their absolute limit. Following her heartbreaking passing, Bill experienced profound loneliness. To help with his expanding routes and daily routines, he hires Sally Brady, a young college student. Together, they form a deep, unbreakable bond of friendship that sustains Bill through shifting decades of he faces worsening physical pain and a changing economy, where traditional door-to-door sales are slowly dying out due to technology. At the end of the movie, we witness the painful twilight of the door-to-door sales era in the late 1990s. The Watkins Company shifted its business model towards telemarketing and computerized corporate order, effectively rendering Bill's traditional walking route obsolete. Concurrently, Bill suffers a severe physical injury after being hit by a car, which drastically worsens his mobility and forces him into unwanted retirement. Deprived of his job, Bill sinks into a deep depression, feeling completely useless and disconnected from the world. Sensing his despair, Sally takes matters into her own hands. She organized a massive, surprise community gathering, bringing together dozens of Bill's former customers whose lives he had touched and transformed over 40 years. Seeing the immense love, gratitude, and impact he left behind restores Bill's sense of purpose, realizing that human connection can never be fully replaced by a computer or a telephone line. Bill proudly returns to the streets, gripping his briefcase firmly, and continues to do what he does best: knocking on the doors, connecting with people, and selling with unmatched patience and persistence. And the next is, I want to tell you about the part of the movie I like the most and why. The part of the movie that I like the absolute most the iconic, deeply symbolic scene involving the patience and the persistence sandwich packed by Bill's mother. This occurs early in the film when Bill returns home, completely exhausted, emotionally battered, and thoroughly defeated after a brutal day of having doors slammed in his face. He is ready to throw in the towel and accept the societal consensus that he simply isn't cut out for the workforce. Instead of offering empty words of pity or letting him wallow in sadness, his mother silently hands him his lunchbox the next morning. When Bill opens it, he finds that she has written patience on one sandwich and persistent on the other using ketchup. The scene is the absolute emotional turning point of the entire movie. It is incredibly powerful because it encapsulates the core theme of the film in a simple, everyday object. It shows that success doesn't require an absence of hardship. It requires an abundance of resilience. That sandwich become a mental fuel for Bill, a reminder of his mother's unwavering faith in his potential. Every time I watch these scenes, it serves as a powerful reminder for my own life that whenever we face rejection or feel like giving up on our goals, we must apply patience to endure the current storm and persistence to keep moving forward to the next door. And the next, I will tell you the part of the movie I like the least and why. On the other hand, the part of the movie that I like the least, not due to poor filmmaking, but because it is incredibly painful and heartbreaking to watch, is the slow, emotional decline of Bill's mother as she battles Alzheimer's disease. There is a specific devastating scene where her memory was deteriorate so severely that she no longer recognized Bill as her son. She looks at him with blank, unfamiliar eyes, and Bill is forced to look back at the woman who gave him everything, realizing that her brilliant mind is slipping away. This segment is profoundly difficult to digest because Irene Porter was the absolute anchor of Bill's existence. Watching this strong, fiercely independent woman become fragile, confused, and entirely dependent is a heavy emotional weight. Furthermore, it highlights the cruel intersection of multiple tragedies. Bill, who already struggles immensely with his own physical body, is forced to push himself past his physical limits to physically live, feed, and care for his dying mother. It is a raw, unfurnished depiction of the reality of aging and cognitive decline. It makes the viewer feel a deep sense of helplessness, highlighting that life can sometimes strip away our greatest support system when we need them the most, leaving us completely vulnerable. And now I will tell you the life lesson from the Door to Door movie. Door to Door isn't merely an entertaining biographical film. It is a profound philosophical blueprint for living a meaningful life. The first and the most obvious lesson is the power of passion and persistence. Bill Porter proved that brilliance or perfection isn't a prerequisite for success, absolute consistency. If you knock on enough doors, eventually some of them will open. The second, deeper lesson is that disability is an inability. True limitation doesn't reside in our physical bodies, but rather in our mind on attitudes. Bill lived in a world full of able-bodied people who were emotionally isolated, miserable, and stuck. Yet, he used his physically limited life to bring joy and community to others. Lastly, the film teaches us the absolute value of genuine human connection. In our modern high technology digital age, it is incredibly easy to hide behind a computer screen and automate message. Bill reminds us that nothing can never truly replace the warmth of looking someone in the eye, listening to their story, remembering their name, and extending a hand of friendship. True success is measured by the number of lives we touch and improve along our journey. And lastly, the target audience recommendation and conclusion. In conclusion, I would enthusiastically recommend Door to Door to a very wide audience, and most specifically to young adults, students, and anyone who currently feels stuck, discouraged, or overwhelmed by professional or personal failures. In an era where social media often creates an illusion of overnight effortless success, this movie serves as a vital reality check. It is a perfect watch for business and marketing students to understand the true spirits of salesmanship, which is roots in empathy rather than greed. It is also an essential film for educators and advocacy group to foster deep empathy and inclusivity for individuals with special needs. This film is a timeless masterpiece that will make you cry, laugh, and most importantly, re-examine your own attitude towards hardships. Thank you so much for taking time to listen my movie review. I hope Bill Porter's extraordinary story inspires you to face your daily challenge with the exact same level of passion and persistence. Now, have a wonderful day and remember to keep knocking on doors. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.